Veve continues to get new users on the platform every single day, and in the first part of this video, we gave 5 tips for users that I believe are essential for you to move forward. And in this second part of the video, I'm going to give 5 more that you can use to push your investment to the next level, become a smarter investor, and just overall enjoy the app more. So let's get started. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before we get going, if you are enjoying the content and you want to support me further, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support me further than that, you can join the membership. I'll leave a link to the first part of the video. Down in the description and also in the cards right here, just so you can check it out. There's some great information in regards to the market and drops and more, so I definitely recommend checking that out. The first one we're going to be talking about today is FOMO. Now, FOMO is the fear of missing out. And if you're someone who's just coming into this app for the first time and this is your first investment you've ever made, FOMO is going to become quite apparent in your lifestyle for this. When you first initially get into something and you see it rising drastically, you want to get involved as well. You think it can go even higher, your emotions start to take over, and therefore you buy into the all-time high. Now, I've done this before, most of you have probably done it before, and then are left holding the bag for a long time before you ever see those prices again. One of the best tips that I can give you for a new user or for anyone is when you see something significantly rising very, very quickly, do not get in at that time. Yes, it could go higher, but more often or not, your plan is probably too late to be made. You've missed that boat and there's other boats to be caught that you are now not paying attention to because you're too focused on the shiny object syndrome of what is actually moving at the moment. Look at the market and understand that a little bit further to see where everyone is looking right now and maybe where everyone's not paying attention to. Because more often or not, where the YouTubers are talking, the content creators are talking, the people on Twitter are talking, is where all the focus will be. But maybe there's that hidden gem that you're just not seeing that is something that could make you a lot of money, or just a collectible that you've really loved for a long time and want to just hold for having it in your collection. Make sure of something that is really skyrocketing in price. Don't FOMO it in right away. Don't be someone who's left holding the bag. Don't be someone like me who's definitely done this before as well, because we're using our emotions rather than logic with it. When we have our plan and we stick to our plan, we're not going to get burnt out the same way others will when they're using their emotion. And especially in the crypto and NFT space, people don't tend to use logic that much. So just stay ahead of the game, stick with your plan, and you're not going to get burnt. The next tip I'm going to give is about MCP. Now, MCP is the Master Collector Program, and it's something that's going to be released hopefully this year at some point, where the collection of sets is going to give you points. You're going to be able to get into drop raffles that are associated with this, meaning you've got maybe a better chance of getting some of the drops. You're going to get some exclusive benefits by being a part of that, some rewards for being a part of that, and more. And this means to me, they're adding more gamification into Veve and what it actually is. And that also adds on that sets are probably going to become more important once it's in the audience's eyes. For the most part, the average consumer is not actually paying attention to the YouTube channels or the Twitter accounts or even the Medium articles that are releasing. All they will pay attention to is what is happening on the app right now. So when MCP comes along and they can collect sets and gets points for that, that is adding gamification to Veve itself. It's making people want to come back, earn more points, get the rewards for earning those points and actually spending time on the app, and therefore you're adding people's retention to what the Veve app is. This will also shine through, especially when the drop raffle is released. Being able to get more points to get into this raffle for free because all you've done is spend time in the app is something people will want to do. Even if you had a 1 in 50 chance of getting these drop raffles, the fact that you even can get in with these free tokens is something everyone's going to want. Imagine getting lucky enough to get a Darth Vader animated just through a drop raffle because you decided to spend a little bit of time on the app. Sets are going to become more important as we move forward. And if you can get ahead of the game with some of the things that are already adding up points, as of right now, you're still getting the points from the sets that you're collecting. Maybe once the MCP raffle actually comes out, you're way ahead of the game and you have a significant advantage compared to the average consumer on this platform. So strategically looking at what gives you the most points on the MCP could play in your favor over the long run if you're smart about this in the beginning. Because as I said before, everyone's paying attention to one thing at the moment, where no one is really talking about the MCP. And it's not to say that it's the be all end all. You shouldn't put everything on sets you don't really care about that much, because at the end of the day, you should be collecting what you love and the designs behind them and the artists behind them. But it's not wrong to play a part in your diversification to look at sets. Which ones are going to give me the most points, the most reward for my buck, and how can I actually use this to an advantage? As of right now, the rare comics seem to be the best for the comic part in general, with 2 points per comic, and you've also got the 2 sets like the Kripkins and the Mermicorno Season 2, which are getting the most points for the least amount of money. These points are all accumulating right now, so as we progress, you're still getting points for holding those sets. I think it's important to look at the Medium article regarding MCP and the next iteration of it, and to see how you can actually take advantage as of right now to benefit in the future. The third one is about drops, rebounds, and keeping gems. Now, we talked about drops before in the last video, but we didn't go over just about everything that I really wanted to go over with this. Drops in the app happen just as we've regularly seen. It counts down from 3, 2, 1, 0, the buy now comes up, and you go for it. You've either got it or you don't. But many of you might not know there's a thing called rebounds. Now, what rebounds are is basically when you go to buy something, and if you manage to get it on the drop, you have a timer of 180 seconds, meaning you have 3 minutes to actually purchase this drop. Not everyone actually has that ability. Some don't have the gems for it. Some transactions fail. People log out of their account accidentally. Their internet goes off. Everything goes wrong. And that means the purchase is no longer valid, which often brings it back into the pool that will happen for the rebound. The rebounds happen at the moment anyway, every 4 minutes. So at each 4 minute mark, just the way it would happen on the drop of the 3, 2, 1, 0 in the buy now, your aim is to click the buy now button that stays on the screen at the 4, 8, and 12 minute mark. Now, I use this by time.is, where you time it on the minute that it actually drops. So as soon as the 4 minute happens, I click it, just like I would on the hour mark, and the same as the 8, 12, 16, 20. And I even saw someone got a 32 minute drop on the rebound for doing this. Issue with this is some people's screen say sold out on the button when the buy now has happened after the hour one. That means you have to do one more step in order to get that buy now button to potentially appear. It's not guaranteed, to potentially appear when it comes to this. When you're on your app and you can see the drop that's happening right now, you go off of the screen from where you buy now and click the buy now button, and on the 4 minute mark you click the drop to go back into the screen where the buy now button could potentially appear. Now, sometimes this buy now button pops up and sometimes it still says sold out, but if that buy now button does pop up, that is a rebound triggering, and you can then click the buy now button to potentially be put into the pool again of getting a rebound drop. This is something that is essential, and I actually managed to get my first rebound ever the other day with Black Panther. So it is definitely possible. I have an iPhone 7. I don't have a state-of-the-art iPhone. It's not something that's the best, but it definitely is possible to get. That was my first drop in over a month or so. Definitely is a possibility. It's not something guaranteed, but it does give you an extra opportunity of getting something like this. The fourth tip I'm going to give today is about market listings. Now, market listings are the amount that is on the market right now. Market listings, it kind of makes sense. But what people don't pay attention to is price fluctuations in regards to market listings. Sometimes when something's been out for a while, we obviously see supply and demand. Supply goes down as demand comes up. And over time, there's more people who are willing to hold these for a longer period because they enjoy the collectible, they enjoy what it is, and therefore are not really willing to sell the same way as others are. And this means you can start to see the shift in prices happening when listings go down. Sometimes you can often catch things before other people can. If we look at the example I'm going to give here in regards to Elsa, you can see this blue line as the listings that are happening and the red line as the current price that's going on. Now, what you often want to see, especially when something is starting to shift its price and going up, is a decrease in listings and an increase in price. That small shift. As of right now, what we're seeing with Elsa is actually an increase in listings and a decrease in price. And this to me shows that we might not be seeing the bottom or whatever that is classified as for this collectible. And when we do see that shift, and what we're sort of looking for here is a decrease in listings for then an increase in price. So right here, this is the sort of area where you see Elsa actually rising in price. The listings have shifted down as the floor prices started to rise. And what we see here is a little bit of a rise in the listings as the price is going up, but it's this shift right here that is able to determine how that price may be starting to move. Because we saw here there was 301 listings and it went all the way down to 200 listings listings with only around a 500 gem price difference. This to me would show there's a heavy buy-in at that point, and we might just be lacking behind on the price increase because there's sell walls that are happening with that. So if there's a lot between 1400 and 2100, but then after this we're starting to see the gaps actually start to happen with the prices where there's maybe only 10 to 3000, that means the listings only need to go down a little bit as we see an increase in prices. So this is a little bit of a harder one. I'd say this is more of an advanced tip, but if you're looking for a collectible to buy, pay attention to its listings. How quickly are they going down? How big's the sell wall on that marketplace? And how quickly can you take advantage when you're starting to see that massive shift in price? One of the best examples I can give for this is in regards to the Coca-Cola globes. There was one point where the Coca-Cola globes went down by 150 listings in an hour. If you were paying attention to those listings, you would have saw they were going down extremely quickly. And if you're able to get in at a certain point, you would have probably made quite a lot of profit in regards to this. So if you're just watching the market for certain listings, you're going to be able to understand how to actually move forward with it and how to take advantage of these times. And the final one, actually a little bit in relation to this, is the fees on Veve. Now, there are different fees in regards to trades that you're making. Right now, you have the Disney and Marvel tax, where it's a total of 8.5% transaction fees on the market. And also you have the likes of DC, Chipkins, Artists, and all that sort of stuff, where it's 2.5%. MTL hopefully coming in the next few months, and us seeing our trades and how to actually be better with them, I think it's very, very important for you to take note of these transaction fees, what they are and how you can make the most profit. In the beginning, I always tell people to focus on the likes of DC because they're still amazing collectibles as well as only a 2.5% transaction fee. Where it starts to get more complicated is when you get up to the Disney trades, Marvel trades and all that sort of stuff, because they do have the 8.5% transaction fee, taking quite a significant drop in your profits when you're only making little by little. So in the beginning, please make sure you're paying attention to what the transaction fees are and why. And if you want to find out what transaction fee yours actually will incur, press the sell button and you're going to sell it on the market. It will tell you the fee that it's going to be charging. You can also see this on the Medium article drop for whatever you're going to be planning to sell. Right at the bottom of the Medium article, you will see what the percentage fees they're actually going to be taking for this. This is the best way to keep on top of your transactions. I would also say when you're doing your things with accounts, figuring out how much tax you're going to be paying, make sure to put these transaction fees in there. Make sure you're keeping track of exactly how much profit you're making in regards to this. I wanted to give another 5 tips that I just have for new users coming into this space, as I know there'll probably be quite a lot of you who are just coming in for the first time, wanting to figure out what Veve is and maybe not actually realizing a lot of the information, because right now the app doesn't really tell you much in regards to that. So hopefully this could help in some way, and if there's any more tips you'd like me to cover in a future video, be sure to let me know down below. I know the video on the screen now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.